Let's see if anybody pops in. I just discovered that they have pretty good internet in this hostel here in Tulum. So I thought I would do a live stream and just hang out. In Colombia, hi Limitless. That's your guess, eh? Colombia. Colombia. I'll give you a hint. Wrong continent. Wrong continent. Yeah. Where are you, Limitless? Are you in Colombia? Whereabouts? Hey guys, we're playing Guess Where Tony is Going Next. You only have the whole world. I'm in Tulum right now. Bucaramanga. Limitless. I've never been to Bucaramanga. That's in Colombia, I assume. I don't know why I went all over Colombia, but that doesn't sound familiar. This is Wabi Hostel, I think it's called. There's a guy over there doing some work online. Yep. If you can guess what country I'm going to within 5 tries, I will. What can I do? I will show you my nipples. I know that's what you're all here for. My 87% of men. But while we're here, if you guys want to talk about anything, you don't want to see my nipples? If you want to talk about travel, Colombian travel, women, dating, money, politics. I just saw the internet here. I did an internet speed test and it just went like 100%. So I thought, hey, I'm going to do a live stream. I'm not doing anything else. I was just watching YouTube videos of Johnny Depp's trial. What do you guys think? Do you think Johnny Depp beat his wife, Amber Heard? Oh, I went and I saw this movie, The Northman. Amazing. So this is an art movie. Basically, when people call something an art movie, it means it's either horrible or it's amazing. And you're just too dumb to understand that it's amazing. And The Northman, El Hombre del Norte, it's called here. It was so good, man. Just amazing. And that guy who plays the Viking, Skarsgård something, his whole family is famous. They're all the Skarsgårds are actors. The one guy who plays Pennywise in It. The father, the eldest Skarsgård, he's well, I guess he's most known now for being in the Marvel movies. He's one of the characters that runs Shield or something like that. Oh man, but the director David Eggers, he did this movie called The Witch, which was one of my favorite movies. I've seen this movie so many times, and people watch it and they go, "I don't understand a thing they're saying. It's all in this like old English." And this is what really bugs me about people. They're so lazy. They're so intellectually lazy. So I was watching this movie and I love the ambience of it. I love the creepiness of it, but I didn't understand what they were saying. So I turned on subtitles. It's the same thing I do with a lot of movies where they use weird language, like Mad Max Fury Road. Amazing. Come on, guys. Guess where I'm going? I'm in Tulum I'm in Playa del Carmen for 5 more days, and then I'm flying. Watch, they're going to take a thumbnail and be like, Tony Travels is a Nazi. No. I'm just flying somewhere new. You know, I haven't been sick in like almost a year. Isn't that impressive? I had COVID like 3 times in the last year. Patriots, hey, new subscriber, nice to see you. Hey, thanks for supporting. Thanks for supporting my hobby. What do you like to do, Patriots? Are you a traveler? Are you a lover of food and travel and lovemaking? Yeah, so what have I been up to? Um, I got fired from my copywriting job. I had it for 5 months, and I didn't really have much time to make videos anymore. But I ran out of money, and then I was like, "Shit, I need money," and so I got a job, and I worked every day from 7 a.m. until 4 p.m. Writing copy, mostly in conservative politics. That's the job they gave me. I had to look at the news every day and write articles about libertarian conservative politics. If you watch like Louder with Crowder or read Breitbart News, I was doing that kind of stuff. And then I ended up writing sales pages to sell advice for men with erectile dysfunction. Somalia. I am not going to Somalia, but I would love to go to Somalia. Actually, Africa is definitely on my list. Thomas Mundo's guessing Brazil. No, not Brazil, but I totally want to go to Brazil. It's definitely on my list. So, another hint, you probably don't know me that well, but I've been to this country, but I've only been to the capital city. I went in 2019. And so now I'm going back. And man, in 2019, I went to this region and I did like lots of travel in this region, and I wasn't a YouTuber yet, so I didn't document anything. So now I'm going back and I'm going to document it. Thailand, limitless. No, I've been to Thailand so many times though. I love Thailand. But right now they're so strict with their COVID restrictions. So here's something narrowing it down. It's a country with zero restrictions. Zero restrictions. There aren't many of those countries in the world. You don't need a test. They won't stick anything in your nose. You don't have to pay the nose tax. You don't have to be vaccinated. You don't have to wear a mask. Nope, not Colombia. Somebody already said that. Argentina. No. Okay, I'll give you guys another hint. Somalia is much closer. Here is, I'll keep giving you guys hints. What's something that bleeds and bleeds but never dies? It's a riddle. What bleeds and bleeds but never dies? The Patriots, you're out of, I think you're almost out of pussy. Yes, it's true. It's not directly the place, but yes, it's women. The answer is women. They can bleed and never die. Okay, so here's another hint. How does this joke go? I forgot the joke. Never mind. Show. It's asking me if it wants me to censor you, limitless pussy. Your heart, James Dean, bleeds and bleeds and never dies? Well, you must be some sort of immortal. Maybe you're a superhero or a returned demigod. So while you guys keep guessing, I'll talk more about what I've been up to lately. I got Audible. Do you guys know Audible? Okay, so I know you can download ebooks for free, but I didn't know what app I could use on my cell phone to listen to audiobooks without it being a pain in the ass. So I got Audible and I bought Will Smith's book, Will. You know how Will Smith smacked that, what's it, Chris Rock? So I thought, oh, I bet you his book sales are skyrocketing now. Not like he needs the money, okay? I don't think it was staged. I honestly don't. And I went and I got his Audible book because it's written by Mark Manson, and I'm actually, I know Mark Manson personally. Like, we've never hung out, but we've talked on Skype. We talked over the phone a few times. We talked on Facebook a few times. I'm in the same circles as Mark Manson in my marketing community. I hired him once actually to give me business advice. Anyway, I used to ask him, like, I asked him a question once. I said, "Hey Mark, what's it like now that you're a New York Times best-selling author?" And he said, "Well," I said, "what's changed now that you're famous, New York Times #1 best-selling self-help book offer?" And he said, "Well, I have more money." But I'll tell you something about Mark Manson. He's nothing like the person he portrays. Like in all of his books and his writing and stuff, he's very PG-13, and he's sort of like trying to please everybody. But I know the Mark Manson, when he was a blogger, he ran a blog called Practical Pickup, and it was a pickup advice blog. He used to be a pickup artist, and he flew all over the world like I used to do. I used to be a pickup artist or a dating coach, and I flew all over the world teaching guys how to pick up women. Great job. I'm just a bit old for it now. Anyway, he built up a huge mailing list, and then he changed his blog into Post Masculine, and he had like, I don't know, like 100,000 subscribers. Then he became, his blog changed to Mark Manson, and he tried to erase all the history of his pickup artist past. And when the book companies came to him, because he had a book out called Models, and they really wanted him to write a book and publish it, and he said, like, why? I make more money off my list. Why would I pay you guys royalties? But I think eventually he made a deal, and he wrote The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, which he didn't need to get a mainstream publisher. He was already rich, but this gave him mainstream clout. But Mark had to really put on like a veneer of being this professional. I don't know, it's like mainstream. But when I talk to Mark, he swears, we make dick jokes. He told me a lot of intimate stories about some of his ex-girlfriends, his mildly famous in our scene ex-girlfriends and stuff. He's a funny guy. Anyway, Will Smith approached him and said, hey, I want you to write my bio. And he posted about this in our marketing groups, like, holy shit, I don't know if I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it. Because it's not really his thing, but it's a great book. I got the audiobook, and I can't stop listening to it. And it's 16 hours long, and it's just, Will Smith narrates it. And he also has his rapping in it and music. It's really done like a movie. It's got high production values. So I really recommend Will Smith's book. And Will Smith is a fascinating guy, and it gives you insight into who he really is, not the character he plays, and how he became a international rap star, how he became a TV star, how he became the biggest movie star in the world, arguably. And the childhood that led to that is really fascinating. His dad was super militant. His dad was literally like, came out of the military, got kicked out for having like anger issues. And his dad was so strict. Like if you were a minute late for dinner, you were in big shit. Like you did your chores, like, and he was really strict, and he was also abusive, physically abusive to him, to the kids and his wife. But this put the fear of God in them. And so he learned like discipline at a very, very young age. And that's really what he considers what drove him to his success, was just being like working harder than everybody else. When he wanted to become a movie star, he had a team of guys that he brought from his neighborhood with him, his manager, his bodyguard, just all these guys he brought from his neighborhood when he was a teenager, who all proved to be as hardworking, or they were good in areas he wasn't. Like he was talented, but he had no sense for business. He had no sense for networking. He had a guy for that. One of his friends was super intellectual, and he was always like, what's the plan, Will? What's the plan? Like, because Will was really terrible with money. Like a lot of rappers get rich and they just spend all their money, and then they have a shitty album and they go bankrupt. Fascinating book. And Audible, because I'm on a diet and I've been exercising and watching what I eat every day, I have this calorie tracker called, what's it called? So I've got 3 apps connected. I'll show you guys if any of you are out of shape. So I've got Google Fit, MyFitnessPal, and what's that last one? Lose Weight for Men. And they're all connected, and so it's counting my steps every day, and I'm walking like all over Playa del Carmen every day because I'm listening to this audiobook that's 16 hours long. I'll walk 4 hours a day listening to audiobooks, just pumping my head full of propaganda, self-help stuff, philosophy, fiction. Let's see the comments here. My heart. James Dean is immortal. Oh yeah, James Dean. What a fascinating guy. I read an autobiography about James Dean, and he died so young. It's really unfortunate. An amazing actor. Do I do one-on-one phone coaching? Yeah, of course I do. I'm a certified life coach, and when I was a dating coach, I flew all over the world, and men paid me thousands of dollars to go and help them meet women and teach them game, essentially. And I quit doing that, but I moved into telephone coaching. And so I was like, I want to be a really good like life coach. I don't just want to be a guy who tells you what to do and gives you advice. So I actually took training. I'm certified as a life coach. And life coaching is interesting because, you say life coach, it sounds cheesy. It's like, what, are you perfect at life? And it's actually not like that. It's like you can be a psychologist who only knows one little aspect of psychology. And I'm kind of trained like that. I'm really good at helping men with getting what they want, specifically like reaching goals, whether that's like how to start a business, how to get over a fear, or dating advice, stuff like that. If you're interested, I'll put my email here, and I, I don't know what my business email is. I'll give you my email for my YouTube stuff. I don't want to say it, but there it is in the chat. You can send me an email there if you want to discuss coaching about anything. So, yeah, anyway, this book was amazing. The Will Smith biography, I totally recommend it. You're getting out of shape too? Yeah, so I have this no gym workout lose weight for men app. And so every morning I do crunches, planks. Um, I'm not running or anything, but I'm doing jumping jacks and stuff like that. And it tracks all the calories you've burned on top of with the walking. And yeah, I lost 5 pounds in the last 2 weeks. I have it set for, and you also the calorie counter, my Fitness Pal. I track everything I eat in there just to keep my calories under 1,500. So I'm starting to look pretty good. I had to tighten my belt a little bit. Women are noticing me more too. I definitely notice it as I get more in shape. Women start to smile at me more. Another funny thing is when I'm walking around listening to audiobooks, if I hear something brilliant, it makes me feel good. I start smiling. People start smiling back at me, and girls are smiling at me. So I definitely recommend it. I don't like wasting time anymore. Like if I'm not doing something, I love watching movies and TV, but when I'm traveling, I don't have access to all my time wasting entertainment stuff. So what I do in my spare time is if I'm not being productive, I'm learning, or I'm exercising, or I'm meditating. But I'm always reading a book, listening to an audiobook. And if I'm going to be silent, I'm definitely really silent. I don't listen to a lot of music anymore, even though I'm a musician as well. But yeah, right now I'm in Mexico. Yeah, I'm in Playa del Carmen for a week, and then I'm going somewhere else. And if you guess where I'm going next, what will I do? I'll put a hot girl in my next video for you. How's that? I will not release a video without beautiful women because my viewers are 80. Right now it's 87% men. It used to be 94, so I actually have more girls watching. If you're a girl, let me know. Pharaoh Phoenix, I like that tagline. What am I doing? What's my new job? I'm unemployed, but I have freelance contracts. So I'm working for I'm doing some copywriting for a testosterone replacement therapy clinic, and I'm doing some. It's not copywriting, but there's another men's self improvement website called girlschase.com. And I used to work for them. I wrote a lot of articles. You can look up Tony Depp, girlschase.com, and you'll see I have about 300 articles that I've written about dating. And so I'm helping him with some stuff in the back end. He's releasing a new product. And I'm doing a lot of writing work. I've always been good at writing. Like, writing is my thing. I've written books. I have books published. I have millions of words on my old websites all over the internet and stuff. So as I'm traveling, I'm like, what do I do to make money? So I started writing again, and it's been quite good for me. What do you do? What do you do, Pharaoh? Hey, Tony. Boris Bongstrong. Hey, Tony, I just watched some of your videos in Playa del Carmen. I'm going to get robbed there if I try to buy dope. Yes, at night. Don't buy dope off the guys on the street. There are some. So what'll happen is as you walk down Fifth Avenue, you'll see these guys with like, I don't know, they'll have T-shirts, or they'll be like, hey, do you want a tour? Do you want to go see the whales? And then they'll go, cocaine, marijuana. You see it in one of my videos. The guy comes up and he's like, oh man, I got the best, like cocaine. Everyone's trying to sell you the shit. There's a few places that they'll invite you into their store, and they'll take you into the back, and they'll show you their weed and stuff like that. But I advise, like, against it unless you like trust those people. You build some rapport with them because there's guys on the street. They'll just come up to you at night, not so much in the daytime, but as soon as you buy some pot, the cops come out and they're working with the cops, and then they will rob you. But if you're in a hostel, quite often you'll see people all over the place smoking weed. Everyone's smoking weed in the hotels, and just ask them or ask the staff in the hostel or even the hotel concierges, everyone, and then if they'll go get you some weed, and then just give them a tip. Just say, hey man, I'll give you a tip if you get me some weed. You know, how much would it be? And they'll. The thing is, they're gonna try to come back with like an ounce. Tell them, look, man, I just want like, tell them, like a little bit. It's cheap as hell. So if they start telling you they want like $50 for a joint, if you buy it on the guy off the guys on the street, they'll rip you off in so many ways. So don't do it. And just stay away from cocaine and that shit. That shit's evil anyway, and it's all cut nasty. If you start dealing with the hard drugs, you're going to start dealing with cartel, and you don't want to get involved with them. I had a lot of friends get involved with narcos, and it's just bad news all around. Yeah, I got robbed twice in Mexico. You can see my videos. I was number one for robbed in Mexico for like 6 months. And I look at the comments, and there's so many people like, yeah, me too, me too, me too. And I feel kind of bad because a lot of Mexicans got really mad, like, how dare you talk shit about my country? And it's like, hey, it's not my fault your country has a drug war going on. Like, it's true. It's messed up here. There's a lot of violence and terrible things. But if you're a tourist and you're in tourist places and you're not out at 3 a.m. like I was, drunk, it's probably not going to happen to you. But that's just the way it is when you travel in these developing third world countries. Shit happens. I'm still here. I love Mexico, man. And I've had nothing but great experiences here. I've had amazing adventures. I've made love to beautiful women. I've ate some great food. I've seen beautiful things. And it's just one country, and shitty things can happen in any country. I still feel almost more secure in Mexico than in a lot of other countries. Yeah, no problem, Boris. Yeah, getting robbed is the least of your concerns. So, come on, give me another guess where I'm going. It's not in Latin America, okay? I'm leaving the continent. I'll give you that much advice, that much of a tip. What else have I been doing? I've been trying to lose some weight because I was getting pretty fat, and mostly that's because I was just sedentary. Like in Puerto Escondido, I was just staying in one place for 3 months, working like every day. And then because I was making so much money, I was making $1,200 a week. I would just go out and eat big meals after like whatever, $20. I don't give a shit. I was making $240 a day. And then I got fired because I don't know why I got fired. I just started making some mistakes. I honestly started getting burnt out. I'm not the kind of guy, if you guessed, that likes responsibility. Like, I like responsibility. I'm into the Jordan Peterson kind of responsibility, but not the full-time job responsibility. Hey, thanks for the tip, ST. Cheers to you too. I really appreciate that. Yeah, one-armed biker Johnny Be Good is in the house. Johnny, how you doing? Yeah, so responsibility, I like the idea of having responsibility, and I think it's a powerful thing for men, especially in this age where we really, the young modern man has really been taught to be carefree and independent, like the Instagram generation. Just, you don't need to work for anybody. You don't need a job. You should be a rock star or a YouTuber or a Bitcoin, guru, or like an Elon Musk type guy who's just good at everything and manages to do everything and be. And it's just not like realistic, right? So what a lot of guys do is they get overwhelmed by like having a lot of men and women. When I say guys, I'm talking to everybody. To me, it seems like you get overwhelmed with possibility, and a lot of guys feel like if I'm not like inventing my own crypto community or developing the next app that's going to change the world, or I'm not like a best-selling New York Times author, then I'm a failure. And I started feeling like that too for a long time, and my income was always going like this. And then I started saying, you know what? Life is just a journey, and having a job is just a way to learn something new. And I said, what am I really lacking in all of my entrepreneurial journeys, especially with coaching, I've been a musician. I always sucked at marketing. Like I could write really well. I've written novels that are did quite well in the on the internet, but I never reached that like super mainstream appeal. What I realized is that like people who like, especially reading Will Smith's book and studying like Mark Manson and a lot of successful people I know, none of their success happened by accident. None of them were discovered. It is Europe, Slovenia, Johnny. You're close, man. You're very, very close. If you get it right, you get to see my nipples. No, I'll get a beautiful girl. I'll get an interview with the prettiest girl I can find in my next video if you guess Romania. Congratulations. Here you go, Pharaoh. Whoop, whoop. Yes, I'm going to Romania. Land of vampires. So if any of you know anything about Romania, let's talk about it. Keep it a secret. I want it to be a surprise for my other 400 subscribers who still watch my channel. Every time I leave a country, I lose all my subscribers. It's like people look at my channel and they go, wow, you have like 2,000 subscribers. I'm like, man, it's like nothing because only 200 of you guys still come in and watch my videos. Whenever I leave, when I was in Guatemala, my channel started blowing up. Then I left, it went, and then in Colombia, it started blowing up and went, and Mexico never really does well because I think there's just too much coverage of Mexico. Like, it's not just on YouTube in Mexico. There's so much cultural coverage. Mexico is so famous that nobody cares. Like every movie is like set in Mexico. That if it's in Latin America, like very few big movies until Narcos came out on Netflix are, and now there's Narcos Mexico, are set anywhere but Mexico. There's nothing in Peru really. Like Brazil has very few movies unless you think of like Children of God or classic like gangster movies from Brazil. So Mexico just doesn't get a lot of views unless you've developed a huge community and you speak Spanish. What do I think of Jose Ortega? Is he shady? False. I don't know who that is. Who is Jose Ortega? I don't want to Google it right now. If you could tell me, that'd be great. Hungary. Hungary. I've been to Hungary before. I went to Budapest, and man, I love the steam baths there. There's that one guy, Johnny FD, and he's in Hungary right now. I think he went back to Ukraine. So I'll tell you where I went my last trip to Europe. Wait, Pharaoh, are you going to visit Andrew Tate? I don't know who Andrew Tate is. Ireland, rather fat Jewish man. Best name yet. No, I'm not going to Ireland. I looked into it. Flights are cheap. They're open and free, but it's super expensive. Like it's like $40 a night to stay in a dormitory. What the hell, Ireland? I thought Ireland was a shithole third world country. Like, cause I used to date an Irish girl, and she used to always joke about how her country was a third world country, and she was fun. I had a crack with her, a good crack. She'd go, fuck me. So if your kids are watching, NSFW. But she would say it in an Irish accent, and it made me stop and crack up every time. And she introduced me to Irish bacon, because our bacon in North America is terrible. Actually, our food in North America is terrible, according to every European. They just think our food is just processed garbage. Bacon in Ireland are big chunks of pig, like not these little tiny strips. And I actually like little tiny strips. I prefer it. Yep, Johnny FD is back in Ukraine. But if any of you guys know him, tell him I'd like to meet him. I think I'm big enough now. I have 2,000 subscribers. Maybe Johnny FD will hang out with me. That would be so cool. I was actually watching him for a long time before he was a YouTuber. He used to be guess what? He was a pickup artist, just like Mark Manson, just like loads of, who else was? Mike Cernovich was a pickup artist. Loads of guys used to be dating coaches. It's so funny how many of us, David Bond still is. Yeah, so I'm going there. I gotta go through some of these comments. Okay, let me go back here. Not Lithuania. Nope, I'm going to Romania. I'm starting off where in Romania? St. I'm starting off in Bucharest for just 4 days because I spent 2 weeks there, and I'm going to shoot some videos there. What do you guys want to see in Bucharest other than the hotties? Uh, they have like this crazy history of communism there. They have the biggest palace ever built, and it's the ugliest monstrosity that this guy Ceausescu destroyed half the city to build this stupid palace, and they can barely pay to keep it clean because it's so big. It's just full of tunnels and underground escape routes, and they have tours inside this building. Last time I was there, I didn't go. It's an absolute monstrosity. It looks like the spaceship in like Independence Day. It's so big, it's ridiculous. And then I'm going to go to Brasov, which is a 4-hour train ride. And I'm so excited about riding on trains because to ride a train in Canada, go from one city to the next, you're going to spend like $700. I'm not even joking. But in Romania, that same trip on some shithole train where the toilet's literally a hole in the ground, you poop onto the tracks. I'm not even kidding. You can do for $20, like 4 hours on a train. And you have to not fall asleep so the gypsies don't steal your bag. Uh, Last time I went to Europe, I started in Berlin, and then I went to Poland for a few months, Ukraine. I flew from Ukraine to Bucharest in Romania, and I didn't see the rest of the country, which is why I'm going back. Then I went to Bulgaria. I went to Varna and up and down the coast. I had a coaching client, so we were trying to meet women in Bulgaria. Super fun. I love Bulgaria. It's like if you took a bunch of Russians and dropped them in Greece. That's the only way I can describe it. And then I went to Serbia, and I met a really wonderful Polish girl in Serbia who might actually meet up with me again in Europe, and she'll hopefully be in some of my videos. And then I went to Hungary, and then I flew home. No, then I flew to Asia, I think. No, then I flew home, bummed around in Canada, and then the pandemic. Yeah. Falsetsuma. I'm a YouTuber from Merida. No, I don't know. I got recognized in Merida by this guy. I was in Merida, and this dude was walking down the street, huge guy in a tank top, huge muscles. And I just looked at this guy. I'm like, well, this guy looks like a Hulk. And he stopped, and he was like, and I was like, he knows me. And he's like, Tony Travels. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. Huge man. It's like never beautiful girls. It's always dudes. Story of my life. Let's see here. What's my favorite movie? Oh man, that's like impossible because I'm a huge fan of movies. I used to work in the movies. I've done acting, background acting. I worked as a lighting technician for a long time in the movies in Vancouver. They have a huge film industry. I worked in as a set deck. That's doing all the props and everything. That's the hardest job in the movie industry. I swear to God, because you're moving couches. It's like being a professional house mover every single day. Man, I really love great directors. Like this more directors than movies I'm into. It's kind of like authors. Like Charles Bukowski is one of my favorite authors. Tolstoy is one of my favorite authors. Haruki Murakami. For me, I would say like Eyes Wide Shut. What's his name? God, how am I forgetting my favorite director's name? The Shining, Stanley Kubrick. All of his movies, I can't watch them enough times. Stanley Kubrick movies, intellectual movies as much as action movies. I can go watch a good anime, and I could go watch like a highbrow art film. The Lighthouse is one of my favorite recent movies, and I say if you watch The Lighthouse, you have to do it drunk. A lot of people say, oh, it's a weird movie. I didn't like it. It's like, yeah, because you weren't pissed drunk. It's a movie about being drunk. And it's about masculinity. And it's really powerful. It's about the primal, mythical demons, the Carl Jungian psychology that's going on inside every man. And it's an amazing movie, man. William Dafoe and Robert Pattinson just in a lighthouse, all in black and white, in like, it's all very. The guy David Eggers, he's a genius. He just did the Northman. Go see the Northman, and don't go in there expecting it to be Vikings like you saw in that TV show. It's not. David Eggers is an artist. My favorite movies, man. That's a big discussion. What's your favorite movie? I would love to go back to Ukraine. Yo, man, yeah, I'm gonna meet up with Hector. It's funny, you know Hector. Well, I used to work with Hector at Girls Chase. I've never met him in person. We've talked a bit. We had a bit of a few disagreements in the past, and we didn't really make friends, but now we're good. So he invited me to meet him for coffee. So we're gonna go. He's gonna give me some tips on Romania. I'm going to Brasov, and I have no plans after Brasov. All I know about Brasov is it's a mountain town, and I love mountain towns. The older I get, the closer I want to be to nature, but it's also full of beautiful women. I love being around beautiful women. And I love being around hustlers, you know, dudes who have shit going on, who are entrepreneurs. And I don't know if there's like a digital nomad scene in Brasov. I heard it's very touristic, but it has mountains. I love hiking. I love going in up trails into the mountains. In Canada, when the pandemic started, our government shut down all the national parks. They said, you're not allowed to go outside. You have to stay in your house. And they shut down the national parks. And I said, there's no one in the national parks? How would they even know? So I went and I bought $1,000 worth of backpack stuff like tents, sleeping bags, water filtration. And I started hiking while all my shit arrived, getting trained. And then I started going into the national parks for like 3, 4 days at a time by myself. I went with my cousin a few times, and you can see one of those videos. If you go to the very first videos I have on my channel, you can see one of my first trips into the forest with my cousin. And I loved it, man. I loved it. I love nothing more. Nothing in my life has been as exciting and as magical as going into the forest by myself for 3 days and just walking trails and not seeing a single human. And it's scary. People always sound so relaxing. It's how hard as hell. It's scary, but it has these rewards that are better than anything. Like when you've been hiking for 2 hours up a creek bed with trees in your face, wondering if you're even on the right trail. You're low on water. You're sweating like a pig. You're being attacked by insects, and you're like, this sucks. And there's no escape. There's nothing to do but go forward. And you don't have time to think about politics. You don't think about money. You don't think about women. All you think is like, I hope I don't sprain my ankle. I hope I find water soon. And then you break through into a new area. I call it a biome change. You go, wow. You'll come into an open field with birds flying by and deer hopping, and then there's a creek, and you're like, oh, there's water, and you're safe, and you've been walking for 4 hours by yourself in the forest, and man, it's magical. I absolutely love it, and that's one of the reasons why I'm excited about going to Romania, to Brasov, because they have a lot of hiking trails, and they have this mountain range going right through Romania that I can't remember the name of the mountain range, but it goes from Hungary, Ukraine, Poland, Romania, and a few other countries. What's that range called, if you guys know? How are my travel, Matt? How are my travel experiences in the Philippines? I love the Philippines. Oh yeah. How did you know I went to the Philippines? I wish I was YouTubing when I went. Everyone who goes to the Philippines to YouTube, they get huge because Filipinos speak English. It's one of the most densely populated countries in the world, and the Filipinos love seeing like the foreigners' reaction to the Philippines. So a lot of YouTubers go there and they film content there, and they get huge. They get like 100,000 subscribers. My friend Seal on tour, he went there, and one of his videos of chicken fighting went viral, and he got like a few thousand subs. The problem is that advertisers don't pay a lot, so you get all these views, but they're not paying a lot because they're all Filipinos. That's economicism. It's not racism, but it's like, what are we going to sell these Filipinos? So I get, a lot more money making videos in Latin America because it's all Americans watching, and the advertisers pay more for those views. The Philippines, tons of like thousands of little islands, and you can just go from one island to the next. Everyone goes to the same 5 places. They go to Boracay, they go to Manila, they go to these surfing spots. And when I was there, I said, what's on this island? Nobody knows. But there's ferries that you can get. And usually the ferries are like cargo ferries. And so I just started hopping these cargo ferries and going to the weirdest little islands where I would literally be one of like 5 tourists. And I'd rent a little motorcycle and ride around these islands. And everywhere you go, you can talk to the locals. They all speak English. And they'd be like, whoa, what are you doing here, right? And it's some of the most beautiful water and islands I've ever seen. The food is awful. I'm sorry, Filipinos, But my stepmother is Filipino, and she cooks the most amazing food. My dad married a Filipino. My two brothers are half Filipino, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to go to the Philippines, because I have roots there. You know, I actually know people there. But I can't wait to go back, and I'm gonna go back and buy a motorcycle and just motorbike all around the Philippines. It's brilliant. Anything you want to know about Philippines, I'll tell you the best I can. I spent about 3 months there. Good luck on your next trip, says Carlos Rodas. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Yeah. I hate it when people say safe travels or like be safe. Whenever people say be safe, I say don't say that. Say have fun. There's no fun in safety. So many people are like, oh, you're going to these dangerous places. And it's like, they're not dangerous unless you're an idiot. The world is relatively, unless you're really doing dumb things, it's safe, man. Like, it's have fun. Don't say be safe. James Dean, Godfather. Are you saying I'm the Godfather? I don't know about that. I'm more like the Fresh Prince. Anywhere I want to live long term, I don't know. Apparently I'm ENFP in my cognitive stack. My friend got me into this stuff, Tom, and apparently we're addicted to new things. We need explorando. Necesito explorando. We need new things all the time, or we get bored. So I have a vision, sort of like a cabin in the forest near a lake with mountains and hiking trails, and it's also close to a city. So maybe that'll be Vancouver again one day, where I'm from. Who knows? I can't think of like any like I love going to these developing countries and stuff, but I don't think I could live in one forever. I don't know. How's the weather there at the moment? It's cloudy, and there's rainstorms every day. Rainy season is just starting, but you have it's actually nice because it's not too hot. It's super humid in the Maya Riviera. You can kind of see. I'll show you. I'll take you for a walk. Hopefully the internet doesn't die. I'll give you a look at play out. So this is the hostel. There's some mujer walking around back there. Really good looking women here. It's insane, man. Right now the weather is it's not so hot. It's nice. But you can see there's a lot of clouds in the sky. It's probably gonna rain. Tony, what do you think it's too learn? Tony, what age do you think it's too late to learn how to succeed with girls? Never. I mean, as you get older, your interests change, and I mean, you have to define success. Is that like to sleep with a whole bunch of women, or to have a girlfriend or a wife? You know, success is different. And when you get older, you might not even desire that anymore, right? And then, but you don't want to feel regret. I think that's you know, that's the thing. Like, I'm not like that kind of guy anymore. I'm not chasing girls all the time. Like, I'm still romantic and stuff, but I don't have the energy. It's not that I don't have the energy. It's just I'm focused on like my career, developing skills, making money, and chasing women takes a lot of time and effort. If you want to get those really exceptional girls, it does. It takes effort, especially if you want younger women. And so as you get older, you have less of that energy. Some guys have a lot more energy. Maybe they're doing nootropics and taking testosterone replacement therapy or something, or they're rich and they have a lot of time to dedicate to it. But, you know, I would say if you really feel like you're missing out, don't wait any longer. Like, take care of it. Do you know anyone who started the Balkans, Tristan? Yeah, I'm going to Romania. The cat's out of the bag. I'm excited as hell. I'm going on the 8th to Romania. Yep. And then after Romania, I don't know yet. I think I'm going to really explore the heck out of Romania. Romania has a lot going for it, including nobody goes there, and there's not a lot of videos on YouTube about it. So, and there's over 30% of the population speaks English, even though I've been practicing my Romanian. Is it easier to? Oh wait, false Satsuma. Do you know anyone who started a cafe in Mexico? Yeah, I do actually. Multiple people, because I work in cafes, and so I always talk to the expats who own them. And yeah, a lot of people start cafes here. I don't know how profitable they are. Is it easier to pick up girls in the Philippines? Well, define pickup, right? Philippines is super poor. There's middle class Filipinos, and a lot of them are like half Spanish, because the Philippines has never really been just the Philippines. It's always been occupied. First, it was like Japan, then it was like Spain, then it was America, and so they have a lot of mixed blood and mixed cultures and stuff like that. And so they really like Americans a lot. Uh, and so if you are American, especially if you're Caucasian, your value's super high. And the girls just, a lot of them, they're so poor, they want to get the hell out of the Philippines. And so they'll see you as a ticket out, right? But they're also, it's not just that, they're also just like, they may never get to travel in their life unless they get hired as a nanny in another country. And then you're some guy coming from like America, of course, they're going to see you in a different way than the local guys. But yeah, it's easier, to say the least. Uh, how is Bacaramanga? Oh yeah, Limitless. I don't know. He'd have to tell you. I've never been to Hong Kong, James Dean. I would love to go, uh, but it's sad. You know, the commies took Hong Kong back, so I don't know if it's ever going to be the same or if it's different now. Romanians are legit top tier women. Well, that's good to know. Super chill, but do you think Romania is better than Latin America? You have to define better. Like when someone asks, like, "What's my favorite country?" I say that's like, "What's your favorite ex boyfriend or girlfriend?" You have a relationship with everywhere you go. And I'll tell you one thing: whatever I've pictured in my head is about a place before I've gone has always been different. I'm not so experienced with travel. I've got like 22 or 23 countries, but when I picture something, like when I pictured Poland in my head, it was nothing like I imagined it. Same with uh, Thailand, nothing like I imagined. Mexico, Colombia, man, you see it in your head when you get there, what it's going to look like, and you imagine it, and that's how you achieve giant goals. By the way, is you have a burning vision of what it's going to look like when you achieve it. And then when you get there, it might still be awesome, but it's not always anything at all like what you imagined. Romania, what I envision, because I've been to Bucharest, honestly, one of the ugliest cities I've ever seen, because Ceausescu, the dictator, destroyed it to build his communist utopia with the longest road. I'll tell you guys about it when I get there. I'm going to show you how goddamn ridiculous this city is, and it's just a big gray monstrosity. There's hardly any green space, and but I'm leaving there to go into the country, Transylvania, the provinces, and I have no idea what to expect. I hope it's lush and mountainous. I hope the people are beautiful, and I hope there's a lot of adventures I can have that I can share on YouTube. That's all I'm hoping for. Latin America is totally a different beast to Europe. What did I think of Medellin? What did I think of Medellin? Hmm. Some of those most sexy women I've ever seen, for sure. Cheap. Amazing value. You can rent like super nice apartments for a fraction of the cost that you would in like Canada or America. Uh, I would say like most people go to Poblado because it seems like that's where the action is. But I went and stayed in Lorales for my whole time. I didn't really spend a whole lot of time in Poblado, but my experience in Lorales was super, super local. But at the time, I was out of money. I wasn't out of money. I had like 4 grand, and so I got the I was you can see videos of my house and my neighborhood around Lorales, around the stadium, uh, and I just worked a lot. I worked and worked and worked, and I got myself out of debt, and that's what I did there. But Medellin, I wouldn't want to live there forever. I know people that go there and they say this is the perfect place in the world. This is the perfect city, and I think it's because they speak Spanish. If you speak Spanish and you're a single guy and you really want to date, that's what this city is perfect for. If you like, I don't like the food in Colombia very much. I mean, it's fine, but it's kind of bland and it's pretty boring to me compared to other places. The girls are really hot. Hardly any of them speak English, and I'm not someone who just needs to have sex. I had lots of sex in my life. I want people I can communicate with, and I never took the time to learn Spanish deeply, so it wasn't really for me. Long term, I don't know if I'll ever really want to go back, but I love Colombia as a whole. It was super fun. I like smaller places better. I had a lot more fun in Palomino than I did in Medellin. Because if you like going out to bars and partying and drinking, and Medellin's great, but if you want to be like hiking and nature, swimming at the beach, it's not the place. There's no beach. There's some mountains around it. You can do hiking, but you got to go with people or you might get robbed. It's not safe. In Romania, I'm not worried about going hiking in the mountains and getting robbed. In Medellin, you're always thinking about your security. So I think you got to know why you're going there, right? Is Medellin low key burned out? No, not at all. But I mean, if you're going there, here's the thing, man. My video, a lot of guys subscribed to my channel because they saw. Oh, by the way, guys, give this video a thumbs up. I was just gonna take it down, but maybe I'll leave it up for a while. Um, yeah, so Medellin, it's not burned out, but if you're going there for dating and you're planning to just do all your dating through an app, good luck. You're gonna get if you speak Spanish, you can do pretty good off an app, but it's dangerous and there's so much competition from other guys. But if you're social and you got some game and you want to go there, and this is why everyone's looking at my video, is the dangers of dating in Colombia for men, which this other guy, Life with David, ripped off my headline exactly, the brackets, the quotations and everything, and stole all my traffic for this video. It was bringing me loads of people curious about the dangers of dating in Medellin, Colombia. So I even mentioned it to him a few times. I didn't ask him to change it. I just said, "Hey, you took this," and he knows he did. So fuck that guy. Fuck Life with David. His videos are boring. Anyway. Anyway, yeah, Medellin, if you're into dating and you want to chase girls and stuff, sure, and you want to party, you'll have the time of your life. Just be careful, because if you're naive about it, you're going to be taken for everything. I mean, everything. You'll wake up naked with your bumhole sore. All your shit will be gone, including your bank account will be empty. So you got to be careful. But if you have street smarts, you have some game, you can actually go and socialize with normal people and not just try to pick up girls off Tinder, you're going to have a great time. The need for exploration, the Faustian spirit. Do I have the Faustian spirit? Yes, I do. I know I've heard of Faust. I've never read any of his work, though. I should. James Dean, personal question alert. Are you in a relationship or having a casual one? No, no relationship. I mean, I've done some dating, I've done some hooking up, but it's really hard when you're traveling because I used to be really into hooking up, partying, chasing women for like a good 10 years. It was like my sole purpose and writing. And I really feel like I got my fill of it, but I still date some of the girls in my videos. I won't say who, I've dated them, but I'm the kind of guy that likes to roam around. I'm never in one place. I roam from town to town when I find myself falling for some girl, And so I'm a wanderer. I'm looking for a girl that can travel too. Is really what I would like, and then I could become one of those annoying travel YouTubers. I can't stay in one place, and I don't really want to screw women over, because I think I got some bad karma from just doing that to people, hooking up with them, making them think I'm staying, and then like, sorry, I'm leaving. But I'm very honest with women too. If I meet a girl I like who's a local, I say, hey, I'm not staying for very long. Like, and a lot of them are like, that's cool. Like, they just want to have fun with a foreign guy, but they get attached, and I've had my heart broken a bunch of times too. I'm not so hard with like Euro girls who just come to Mexico to hook up with a bunch of dudes, and I end up being one of those guys, and I get attached to them, and then they're like, sorry, I'm just here to party and sleep around. And So I got my heart stabbed a lot. Dating can be painful. It can be hard. It's not easy. It's not like a lot of guys that think, oh, when I'm famous or when I got game, life's gonna be perfect when I've had all this sex with women. And it's awesome. It's also a lot of work and it's a lot of emotional work. So yeah, I would like to have a relationship with the right woman for sure. Romanians are the best women I've dated, but I've never been there. Hopefully one day after a trip to South America. Yeah, you know what? I used to date this Romanian girl back in 2007 in Montreal. She was amazing, man. She was so cool, so smart, very beautiful. And I had never really clued in. Like, I didn't know anything about where's Romania? What is Romania? But when I went to Romania, I was in Bucharest and I was working actually. I was there to help a guy meet girls. And I'm like, where are the pretty girls? Like, I was in the tourist area and Bucharest is so spread out. It's like a monstrosity of a city and there's no tight urban areas. That's why I like always love teaching in Vancouver and Toronto and Khao San Road in Bangkok, places where there's high urban density. And Bucharest is massive communist era wasteland with giant roads and so it sucked. And I was like, this place is overrated. And I went to the mall. Wow, did my mind change? Holy shit! At the mall, it's just like there goes a 10, there's a 10, there's a stunner, and a lot of them spoke English, super friendly, super receptive, but not easy at all. Like very sophisticated. There's also a lot of hipsters in Eastern Europe now. Like a lot of, if you're into that kind of thing, I'm not. Like chicks covered in tattoos, leg tattoos, piercings, and I don't really like that look all that much personally. But there's a lot of that happening in Eastern Europe lately, and not always the smartest girls either, right? So, uh, thanks for the response on the cafes, no problem. Leave them lives up, bro. They're dope. Tristan, what do you mean? Leave them lives up, bro. They're dope. I think I'm missing what you're referring to. Oh, the live stream. Anyway, leave those lives up, bro. Like, did I mess up somebody's life? Not again. What a great video from you. I dated Colombian girls and you were spot on in that video. Life with David is fake and boring. Dude, I think David's probably a nice guy. I'm just a bit butthurt that he did that. Like it's weak, just to make he probably because he's number one now if you look up dangers for dating for men. I mean, fair man, all's fair in love and war. But the way I see it, man, you gotta be nice to people on your way up because you're gonna have to talk to them on the way down. Right? And it's called search engine optimization. Like I'm not an idiot. Uh, there were other guys named Tony Travels when I started on YouTube, but I looked and they had like 10 subscribers, 100 subscribers. They hadn't made a video in like 2 years. Now, when David went and researched this, he would have seen I'm pretty regular, man. I very rarely miss a week. So for him to just jack that, so lame. He could at least try to make his own keyword. He could have said, "Is it dangerous for men?" and gotten number one, no problem. His channel has more subscribers. Anyone who stays in Colombia, they're going to have huge subscribers. There's this guy, or guys who just focus on women, they're going to have big subscribers, like Life with Rami, for example. Or there's this other guy. They just walk around, they film girls. That's all. And they once in a while make a text comment, but they're anonymous and they have a hidden camera. And I mean, I get that. But it's actually guys like me, we're actually working to use our personalities, provide content and provide some value to people, to be like the eyes on the ground. At least I try, and not just have pretty girls in the videos. I don't get as many views, but I ain't gonna go and look at some guy like this and just jack his headline. It's so weak. So weak. It's like stepping on someone smaller than you. But I think he's probably a nice guy. Maybe he doesn't even realize it. Like, I don't think he's a professional YouTuber. I don't know. If he came and apologized and changed his headline, I would tell him I don't even care anymore. Like, I don't hold grudges. Am I related to Johnny Depp? No, see, Tony D, I'll tell you the real story behind Tony D, which is my moniker. When I was a pickup guy, Tony D was my name, and actually it's because I used to be in a punk band called the Deviants when I was a kid, and we put out a few albums. And don't try to find us, you won't. But I was Tony Deviant, and my drummer was Al Deviant, and my bass player was Trez Deviant. Or no, he changed his name to Trez Jack when he joined a gang called the Jacks, a drinking gang of punk rockers. And I was a punk dude. I had a fucking mohawk. I'm still wearing punk rock shirts, and I don't agree with the philosophy as much anymore. It kind of messed me up, like never sell out. What's wrong with selling out? I totally would love to sell out, no problem. You can still sell out, make money, and have integrity. But anyway, then Chase, when I started writing for Girls Chase, he said, "Hey, you can't just be Tony D. You can't have a weird PUA name like Captain Kringle." And I said, "Okay, Tony Depp," and we all laughed, and that's what happened. So, Tony Depp. But my full name is Anthony. All my stuff off in the professional world, I use Anthony. ST, what would be your advice to someone in his 30s stuck in a dead end job, college dropout? I traveled a lot and could do it again. Well, dude, that was like the story of my life. Into my 30s, I was dead end job after dead end job. And it's called factotum. Factotum is when you don't know what you want to do, so you try everything. You take any job you can. I think it's a term that came to popularity in the 1930s during the recessions, during the Great Depression. But Charles Bukowski has a book called Factotum. So my advice to you is, I don't know what your passions are. It sounds kind of corny, but you can find a way to turn anything you enjoy into work. But it's not going to be easy, and you need a plan, and you need to study, you need to learn as well as produce. So you could be self-employed, or you could learn a new skill set and get a job. Like I just made a video about it. My last video, how to make money and travel the world while working full time, or something like that. Go watch that video because I give literally like so much advice on how you can make money on the internet. And anyone who's stuck and they don't know how to make money and they want to travel and they're not even considering making money on the internet, you're missing out on a gold rush. It's like, imagine it's like 1810 and you're like the second wave of settlers going to the gold rush. You're putting your hand in the water and pulling out chunks of gold. That's making money on the internet right now. And people don't know, like people who don't make money on the internet, they think, well, I have to like create some new invention like Elon Musk, or I have to be a genius. No, dude, you just need to learn a skill and get a job. There's so much work on the internet. It's unbelievable. Right now, the rates for writers is ridiculous. Even if you can write a high school essay, you can make $1,000 in a week. Like I tell guys, like pay me $100 for an hour consultation, and I'll help you get started working on the internet. It's not hard. And if you don't want to pay $100, go watch my video and get some ideas. Anyway, there's a lot of ways to make money if you're stuck in a dead end job. My main advice is just like provide a service to begin with, whether that's video editing, graphic design, consulting. You can learn search engine optimization. You can learn like Twitter marketing. Right now, I'm studying a course on Instagram marketing. Huge opportunity. You can get $3,000 a month from one client just to make Instagram posts. And there's a bit of a science to it, but there's courses you can buy for like $20 on udemy.com or Khan Academy. They'll teach you everything you need to know. It might take 6 months of preparation, but that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just studying a lot of courses on copywriting, and I'm upgrading myself. I'm getting small jobs. I'm bidding low. I don't know how to do the jobs, but once I do it, I put that shit on my resume. It's like, how did I become a coach? I didn't know. I got one guy to pay me $400 for 24 hours of coaching. I was so low self-esteem. I put an ad on Craigslist.com. I'll teach you how to do this. And he was the CEO of TELUS, like one of the top guys. He made millions of dollars a year, and he kind of laughed after 24 hours of coaching for $400. What's that per hour? Anyway, he said, Tony, like you should up your rates now. Okay. Like you're great at this. I didn't know what I was doing. So you just got to like venture forth into the unknown. Don't settle for mediocrity. Say, I'm going to be more, I'm going to do more, and listen to audiobooks, inspirational shit. Start thinking about it, start studying, and you know, I could give a whole lecture on this, no problem, but I'm not going to right now. The cause of the last name, I just thought it was funny. Depp. Tony Depp. Or Travels, it just rhymes. Tony Travels. What would be okay? But somehow I feel, and dude, if you're in your 30s, don't worry about it. I'm in my 40s. I'm still changing. Uh, you can you can change your life as long as you're healthy. As long as all of your limbs work, you can breathe. You can always change your path. Life is really short. Don't spend your time doing something you hate or being lost with no idea what to do at all. You got to have some kind of plan, and you're going to get fulfillment out of having a plan and executing it. If you don't know what that plan is, spend your time learning. Instead of sitting there going, I don't know what to do, be learning something, even if it's fucking Lego. Become an expert at Lego. Like, you can do anything, but be learning something all the time. Uh, I lived in Montreal for a year and a half in 2007. I wrote a novel about it, actually. You can get it on Amazon. It's called A Thousand Tiny Failures. There's a little plug. It's a cult classic, apparently. That's a story about me, my life in Montreal in 2007, and it's full of sex. It's just a whole book about me trying to bang hot girls, and it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous, funny novel. That's a novel. It's a memoir, but I wrote it like Charles Bukowski style. And I have another novel, a fiction novel, that was supposed to be like a sequel, and it's about Asia. It's about a guy looking for his brother who died in Thailand, and I never published it. It's still on my computer. It's finished, but I just didn't think it was good enough to release. Yeah, I have a written blog about my old business. I don't update it anymore. Um, Watch the haters get a hold of this shit, and they're gonna destroy me. But I don't care anymore. I used to get attacked by SJWs a lot, just like Johnny FD and even Bald and Bankrupt. He came from the same scene. They all met on travel forums about where guys would get together and talk about girls. There was one called the Roosh V forum, and I think that's where uh, Ben from Bald and Bankrupt met. What's that other guy? No, that was friends with him, Harold Balder. He met Harold Balder on these forums, and I used to be a part of that community. That's my old business website. I'm not a coach anymore. I still take clients for phone coaching if they want to talk to me about that kind of thing, but I'm not taking clients for less than $2,000. So if you don't want to spend $2,000, don't worry about it. But if you want to talk about starting to work online or travel or anything, it's $100 an hour. Hey, you got to make money somehow. Dating stuff, $2,000. I'm just tired of talking about it. But I'm excellent at talking about it. Fiction. I have a barbarian novel about a barbarian man whore called Kuntar the Barbarian, spelled with a K. It's written under an alias. It was just a joke, so that's fiction. Apparently, it's hilarious, but I never really promoted it at all. I just wrote it because I was angry at Justin Trudeau, and so I wrote a book making fun of him. And it's called Kuntar the Barbarian. Harold Balder? Yeah, I like Harold Balder. When I'm in Romania, try Palinka. Oh, wait, Palinka. Is that the soup? It sounds familiar. I'm so excited to have European food. Honestly, Mexican food is overrated. It's all carbs and it's all fried in canola oil and it's all meat. I mean, a lot of it's delicious, but after you've had it for like 6 months, I'm done, dude. I'm done. I don't want more tacos. I've been going to the grocery store and just buying tons of vegetables and making stir fries with no rice, nothing, just eating straight up stir fried veggies by the bucket because my body is like, please, no more bread, no more meat. Um, and I don't work out enough. Like, I don't need to have all of this protein flowing through my system. I started having stomach problems, like traveling a lot. It was mostly because I was eating too much cheap meat, bad meat. And actually, I met a guy. I met this guy who's really fit, a surfer friend of mine, and he's a entrepreneur, a really brilliant entrepreneur, and all he eats are steaks, and he's super fit. And he said like grass fed steak is all you need. But I was seeing a vegetarian girl when I was in Puerto Escondido, and I started just switching to only veggies, and I felt great. I've been eating meat again, but when I was vegetarian, um, she was a really good vegetarian cook, and she made like amazing meals. I didn't miss meat at all. My body just functioned properly when I was vegetarian. So maybe just meat or just vegetarian, but like just eating Mexican food, my body just, you got to take dumps all the time, and you feel sick, and you're always lethargic because of the heat. And you see in Mexico, like there's a big problem with obesity here, and they have so much junk food. Like you go to the store, if you're hungry at night and you don't have any food, you're staying in a hotel, you can't even go buy a banana at the OXXO. They don't have fruit. All they have are bags of nuts that are this big. They're like family sized, and family sized chips, and everything's family sized. And I have a hard time just eating something and not finishing it. And so I just stopped eating, and I've been intermittent fasting. Like I haven't eaten a thing today, and it's now almost 3 p.m. I don't miss it. I just drink a lot of bubble water, I call it. And then I eat whatever I want at around 5, 6 p.m. And I've been dropping 2 pounds a day. My body's working well, and I feel great. Palinka. Oh, I had it. It's like a fermented street drink, right? Anyway, guys, I'm gonna bounce. It was really fun. Hour and 10 minutes talking to you, and I'll leave the stream up for a while. I guess turn on the monetization, see if I can make $3. uh, Hit the thumbs up for me, and I will see you. I don't know if I'll make another video in Mexico. I don't know what to make a video of. Maybe I'll do another live stream. Prices in Mexico, foreign drink. Yeah, the hotel and hostel prices went way down since December. They're actually reasonable again, and it's cheaper. Yeah, than it was in December. It was December, January, February. It was crazy. Like I had to leave the region here, the Cancun area, because prices were just ridiculous. It was like $40 a night for a dorm bed, and now things have gone back down. If you're sleeping in a dorm, you're gonna pay between 10 and 20 a night for like 10 to 30 a night. Hotels are gonna be like 30 to 1,000, whatever you want to spend, but $30 US, you can get private rooms for $30 US a night. Yeah. Food prices in Canada, really? What does this say? Fuck, man, that's more cool live streaming. Yeah, yeah, I like live streaming sometimes. I don't know. I just didn't know if guys like it, or if the algorithm likes it when I live stream, or what I'm going to talk about. Because, most of my live streams, I come in with a subject. But if people keep talking to me, it's easy I like talking. I like looking at myself too. But I like talking to you people. Keeps me motivated to make videos. Everybody's going and saying, well, my friend had, I'm not I try not to focus on the news, and like, you know how people say like they keep printing money. The Great Recession is coming. It's like they've been saying that since I was 10 years old. Maybe it'll happen, maybe it won't, but I'm not going to worry about it. When I used to complain about money, a good friend of mine gave me really good advice. Tony, make more money. Right? So, make more money. That's all you can do. Because you can't fight the food prices. I know it sucks because there's war going on, right? Right now, like I have some big fears when it comes to political situations and stuff. But the way I live, I don't worry about the price of food. I go to the grocery store, I buy a bunch of veggies and rice, and I eat. I buy a chunk of meat, I eat. I don't worry about the price of food. But in Canada, maybe it's getting crazy. I don't know. Okay, guys, adios.